Hey, here's some fun facts, and no, this is not a Christian Nationalist post. It's literally just some fun facts, so relax. George Washington regularly attended Anglican or Episcopalian services and was served as a vestryman. John Adams was a devout Congregationalist, Unitarian, regularly attended church and defended public Christian morality. Samuel Adams was a devout Congregationalist, active in his local church. Patrick Henry was an active Anglican, outspoken about his Christian faith. John Hancock was a regular church attendee and financially supported churches. Roger Sherman was an active Congregationalist and served as a church deacon. John Witherspoon was a Presbyterian minister and signer of the Declaration. Now, I've said all that to say this: of the 56 signers of the Declaration of Independence, most were affiliated with Christian churches and many were active to some extent, with 24 being Anglican or Episcopalian, 12 being Presbyterian, 11 being Congregationalists, 2 being Quakers, and 2 being Unitarians, and there were many others as well. Nearly all had formal Christian affiliations, and most participated in church life, at least socially. Most of the Founding Fathers also supported that the Bible would be taught in schools as a moral textbook. You see, because they viewed biblical instruction as beneficial for societal morality and literacy, though some, like Jefferson and Madison, advocated for voluntary rather than government-mandated instruction. Likewise, the Bible was commonly used in early American schools, the New England Primer, the McGuffey Readers, during and after the founding era. Here's some quotes of interest. John Adams once said, "It is the duty of the clergy to accommodate their discourses to the times, to preach against such sins as are most prevalent, and recommend such virtues as are most wanted." This was in his diary entry of 1756. Now, this shows that Adams believed that preachers should speak against societal sins, including political issues relevant to the times. Noah Webster, who was a founding era educator, said the moral principles and precepts found in the scriptures ought to form the basis of all of our civil constitutions and laws. Now, this implies that scripture should form civil policy, which depends on pulpits teaching biblical principles. Charles Finney, who was a mighty preacher during the Second Great Awakening in the early 1800s, he said, "The time has come that Christians must vote for honest men and take consistent ground in politics. God cannot sustain this free and blessed country which we love and pray for unless the church will take right ground. Politics are a part of religion in such a country as this, and Christians must do their duty to their country as a part of their duty to God." Now, I've said all that to say this: in light of all this, is our duty as men and women of God to simply remain silent in times of moral distress? When the masses need a clarion call to look into the solid rock of Christ's church, are we to shrink in the shadows as cowards of the cross for fear of becoming loathsome to those who loathe our morals in the first place? Or is it our right, yea, even our duty, to stand and proclaim what thus saith the word of the Lord without fear or favor? As one writer would pen, "Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us." That was the book of Psalms, chapter 2, verses 1 through 3. Now, perhaps what sets our generation apart from those who founded this great nation is that we have willingly laid our cords aside in an effort to seem less offensive, and masked our unwillingness to be involved in the weightier matters of governmental affairs by feigning that we're actually striving for one accord. It has been said before, and so now I sound the alarm once again with my own addition: when the pulpits of America remain silent, the voice of martyrs will fill our streets.